This isn't my house. Or is it? No, I'm just joking. For the past 2 months, I haven't really been active with uploading videos on the channel, as for the 10 of you that have been watching. Unfortunately, that was due to, I had been experiencing homelessness, me and my family. And so that kind of caused a disruption, as you can probably tell. So, to give context, for the place I've been living in for the past 3 years, eventually we got an eviction notice, and with very little time we had to pack up everything we could and figure out what we were doing with what little we could do. So, obviously couldn't record videos with everything back in storage at the time. So we had gotten an offer from a friend of ours, a family friend, tried living with them. Things were maybe lasted around 2 weeks around in October. Unfortunately, the father-in-law of our friend didn't like us and threatened to call the cops on us, and things escalated, as you can imagine. So after that, we, with really no idea where to go, we made sure we took everything to storage, grabbing everything what we could carry on our backs and whatnot, and tried to figure out what we could do for the next few days, because we didn't know. We spent a night in a motel, spent some time in an airport before the police got called on us. Fun fact, I'm not really good at talking to the police. I much try not to. So we quickly got out. After that, we got a tent to camp out for the night. That didn't work because we also got the cops called on us again by some random lady, and so with basically like 4 nights lacking any sleep, kept on trudging through. Eventually, when we were at our lowest, we got an offer from my grandfather, who offered to take us in, essentially. Which, I'll tell you, he does not live in the state I'm in. He's nowhere near the West Coast. So we decided we'll go to Kentucky via a Greyhound bus, which, if you know, you know, but those are not necessarily, not exactly preferable for most. You'll see why later on. So we went to an agency, convinced them, told them the whole thing. We got the tickets, and so we decided to go to Kentucky, which, oh boy, it's a doozy. So we went through Idaho, Montana, then we went to Milwaukee, then we went to Chicago, then we went to Kentucky. First trip was very not great. It was very uncomfortable, and there was layovers in Chicago, and it was generally really boring and exhausting. But we made it there. Met up with my grandfather, who, a man I never really knew to begin with, so thought things would be interesting, to say the least. And with that, we spent maybe 3 weeks, maybe 3.5 weeks there. First week went fine. Then procedurally, issues kept coming. And we were trying to do our best to not make any issues happen. We made sure things were clean. We made sure to get our own food, but, not trying to leave him alone. But it got to the point where it was just like nothing was good enough anymore, and he threatened to find homeless shelters for us so that he could just kick us out when he needed to. Um, you know, not to get too deep into it, but he started like pretty much mentally abusing my mother. And you got to the point where we decided, well, this is a bad idea, but we're just gonna leave right now with no money at all. But so that's how that happened. We spent a couple of nights in a motel, making sure, just asking for money when we could. Basically, abusing the friendship card, which I'm still ashamed about, but it was a desperate situation. We weren't sure how things were going to go. All we knew at that moment was we can't stay in this state. We need to go back home, even if home is uncomfortable at the moment, home being West Coast. So with that, we spent a couple of nights in a motel. Then we had, basically once we ran out of money, with no other choice, we had to go to, they call it Tent City. This one relatively was okay. They had their check-in. We had to get our little identibands that they put around our wrists to, so that we can stay, give away any contraband, all that kind of stuff. It's like what you would see in a zombie movie, like a quarantine zone or FEMA. And it felt, despite them offering, bunks, 3 meals a day, showers and whatnot, it felt like a military camp, but also felt like a prison, which I'm being dramatic here. I'm being very melodramatic, but essentially, we stayed maybe 3 nights there, trying to figure out what we can do with very little options. Thankfully, my grandmother was helping us, trying to get things moving along, trying to get back to the West Coast. And luckily, we did, she did, and thankfully, me and my mother were able to get tickets thanks to my grandmother. My father had to be separated from us for a little bit. We took the bus, Greyhound, basically reversed the trip, It's actually much faster, but not quite really, as I'll tell you later. We went through Chicago, no complications. Went through Milwaukee, no complications. Then we reached Montana. Now complications arose because the last bit of our bus schedule got canceled due to weather, as you may know. Or, well, why would you know? I just told you. But complications arose with the trip, so it had to be canceled. Just as we got to Montana, Billings, bunch of people got angry. Me and my mother were irritated, but we were trying to wait to see where things would go. And due to that, basically the staff was like, okay, you guys can stay until Monday in the bus station until the bus comes. We'll make sure we get you food, like pizza or sandwiches or whatever. And so while very uncomfortable with a bunch of people that we didn't really want to be around, we had no choice but to stay in the bus station and just wait. We didn't really have money for the motel or a hotel or anything. But, we spent our days waiting. Because, despite it being incredibly inconvenient, there was a silver lining. We would meet up with my father, and so things would be golden, Things would be lit, as the kids these days say. But turns out they were sending 2 buses, and we got to leave early with my father. So after 2 days of staying at a bus station, we finally left Billings, and then we went to the West Coast. It was a grueling, long trip, and well, we eventually came back. We came back home, and it was honestly, I've never been more thankful for anything in my life. You know, I get to see my friends again. I get to talk to, you know, my friends that live in the same time zone. So I with the future coming, I'll be able to make more videos, and I'll get to talk to, you know, I'll get to talk to people more. I'll get to play games with people I really care about, and because I miss them. You know, they mean a lot to me, you know. Believe it or not, my friends are very important. But right now we're staying at my grandmother's, which this isn't even her place, but this is another place she's staying at. But it works for now. We're getting things figured out, and then within time I'll be able to upload to like the rest of the Dead Island series, because just so you know, that was long recorded a while ago. I still have to edit everything for the 10 of you that watch, which, hey, 10 subscribers special. Isn't that crazy? I mean, I don't know how many of you actually watch the videos, but I am appreciative of, you know, you taking the time to see the antics of me and my friends, the shenanigans. I mean, I have a lot of footage to gift to all of you if that interests you. You know, me, Panda, and Fish, we played a little bit of Halo Reach. It was pretty fun. And that was like the last video I actually recorded. And me and my other friends, Chloe and Ava, this is the first time you're hearing them, but you know, we did something for Halloween, or like a couple days before Halloween. Couldn't take much footage, but you know, you'll get to see how we act. And you know, all of them mean a lot to me, and I'm happy that I'm back, and I'm happy that I can continue doing what I like, which, while not glamorous in any sense, I guess, you know, it's fun. And I think that's what counts. Because for the past year, I was struggling. A mental health thing. But for the past year, I was struggling, and honestly, I was only existing. And now I just want to live, to have fun, to get things in order, to get things back on track. And we just need to make the steps to make this right. So, with due time, but thanks to all of you who watched this. I mean, you took your time. Like, this is almost 15 minutes long already. For those of you who took the 15 minutes here to watch me rambling on about irrelevant topics and life events, I just want to say thank you. You all mean a lot to me, and I hope we can see each other again. But until next time, see you all later.